So Ian Garry has responded to Colby Chaos Covington. He has not given into any of the three demands, but he does want to have an I quit match with Colby where the loser retires. Is it really going to be an I quit match? I don't know because Ian Garry has not um, given in to any of the three demands. His Instagram comments are still turned off. And no, to say you don't care and have your Instagram comments off and all the events, I think it's pretty obvious to assume that Ian Garry is taking this at least personally in one of many ways. It's going to be Ian versus Colby Covington. That's going to be definitely the next fight to make at welterweight. These guys are making noise on social media. These are coming after each other a lot. And Ian Garry does have his facts straight. Colby Covington has not beaten anybody who's currently in the top 15. Look at his fight record. You had the Lawler fight, which he won, surprisingly. Lost to Usman. Tyron Woodley lost to Usman again. And then he got Masvidal, and then lost to Leon Edwards. It's been win, bounce back to the title, win, bounce back to, against people who really don't have business being in any sort of title contention. I honestly felt like if Masvidal were to have somehow beaten Colby Covington, he would have been fighting for the title another time or something like that. And that would have been a more marketable fight, Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. It just seemed a little more right, but we never got that fight. But moving forward, I will be honest and say I'm not really taking sides, so I'm going non-biasedly because right now I could see why the fans don't like either of these guys. This is just battle of the unlikable dudes. Colby Covington obviously wants to get some activity going. At least he's listening to the critics a little bit, so I can forgive Colby in that sense. If you want to come from a spot where I'm totally condemning him, I don't think I would ever totally condemn a fighter. I mean, I understand that they're looking after their best career, and they got to take their health into consideration. They got to take their timing into consideration. They want to take money into it because I don't think any of these guys in the rankings are really doing this to inspire people or be that hopeful beacon of whatever it is you want them to pretend to be like. They're just people who tended to be the best fighters in the world, and they're in this division. So it's hard for me to really want to love or hate any of these guys or condemn them because I'm just trying to look at them as people. I'm a little bit of a purist like that. So sorry for the virtue signaling. But non-biasedly, who do I think wins? I would have to say Ian Garry would win this fight. I just think that he's been more active against people in the rankings because what he said about Colby is absolutely true. Now, if Colby switches it on and becomes classic chaos, kind of like UFC 274, that first round of Tony Ferguson versus Michael Chandler, where Tony Ferguson completely turns back the clock and was knocking Michael Chandler around all over the place, right? If we were to have a similar situation without like Colby Covington, where Colby brings out the pacing and the fighting and just that nonstop pressure, get some takedowns in, I honestly do think he could beat Ian Garry, but this inactivity and just the way he's picked and choose his fight, I don't think it has gotten him to the caliber where he's ready to take on people who are truly in the top 5, ready for title contention. That's just my honest, non-biased opinion. Look, I'm not here to suck up to Ian Garry because I still think that the Instagram comments being deleted are ridiculous. This is just the battle of unlikable guys at welterweight. And you could tell by their walkouts that the fan base is just kind of waiting for one of these guys to dip out. And I think no matter what, even if they somehow make an I Quit match happen, because neither of these guys has really given any leeway to the demands or the deals or anything like that, I just think that the fan base would be very grateful to have one of these guys out because you could tell, even though I'm not going to act like, oh, I'm just above it all, the fan base has obviously spoken during the walkouts, and you could tell during Ian Garry's walkout, he's getting boos all over the place. And Colby Covington, he just doesn't have a whole lot of supporters anymore. I don't think he's getting booed all the way out, but actually his Octagon interview after the title fight, he kind of basically got shamed, rightfully so. That was just a pitiful performance in my opinion. But what we would have is I think that a lot of people would at least want Colby Covington to stay just because I feel like, I don't know why, Ian Garry has kind of like made himself an enemy of the fan base right now because he's just been very defensive and everything. And it's obvious that at least Colby, you could comment hate on his Instagram and he'll just laugh it off. I feel like unless Ian somehow mentally slips, though, he is going to win that fight. I just think he's younger, he's fresher. Like I said, he stayed more active. But that's my follow-up to Ian Garry versus Colby Covington. Is it going to be an I Quit match? I don't know. None of those demands have been met. The deals haven't been laid out. And I just see bantering back and forth right now with no concrete deal laid out. But whether it's an I Quit match where retirement was really at stake, I don't really care. I just want to see this fight go down. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one. Waiting for the follow-up for this rivalry, which I knew was bound to happen. I just sensed it coming from the back because Colby did need to bounce back somehow from one of the worst welterweight title fights of his career. But that's all I got to say. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.